Hi, I'm Fer, and this is the Wednesday update. I'm working right now on the next big science video, and I just want to give you an overview of how this project has evolved over time. Because at first, I just wanted to explain people more about SU3. But then I realized that SU3 is just way too complex. And so I thought, well, maybe I need to explain SU2 and U1 first. But then I realized that people don't know why these symmetries are important in nature. And then I thought, well, let's explain that. But then it's just explaining that just felt like a lot of it felt like a lot of context was missing. And so eventually, and let me tell you, all this time I was like writing a script, almost ready to record, and then I said like, no, this is not good enough. And then I would write another script, and then another, and then another, and then another. And then eventually I realized that I just have to start from the beginning. And so what I decided is that I'm just gonna make a YouTube series in which I'm gonna explain the development of quantum field theory. And I'm not just going to explain how this theory developed, but I'm also going to explain you the mathematics. So, for example, in the first episode, which is already recorded, more about that in a moment, I'm going to explain how the all the evidence, all the observations, all the experiments that led to scientists in the early 1900s to discover that spin existed. And then in the next episode, I'm going to explain the mathematics of spin in complete detail. And the reason for doing it this way is that spin follows a symmetry known as SU2. And perhaps you think that you already know spin, that they explain it to you in chemistry class or perhaps in physics class. But these explanations, while correct, are very limited. They don't go into the relevance of group theory in this. They give you the if they even mention the polymatrices, they just give them to you as it is. But in this video, I want you to deduce the polymath matrices by yourself. I want you to understand perfectly, like I want you to feel like, yes, of course. How else could it be? Like I want you to have that feeling that of understanding when you realize that, well, yeah, when you feel like, yeah, it couldn't have been any other way. And so anyway, so that's what I'm working on. Okay, so now let's talk about the first episode. The first episode is already recorded, so I'm just in the process of editing it. But this editing has turned out to be more difficult than for previous projects. And one reason is that the files are much larger. Because I'm working with a better camera that has better resolution, you can check that by comparing this video with the one, for example, about chess. It's like night and day, the quality. But this means that when I put these videos in Final Cut, the library gets huge. The library is the file that where Final Cut stores all the editing you're doing. And it was already like 100 gigabytes, and I was just not even halfway through the video, through all that I recorded. And I thought I need some more memory. And so I bought this external hard drive. This is 2 gigabytes here, has more memory than my computer. And so, yeah, with this, I'm finally able to work more comfortably on editing that. So that is this. This is an obstacle that is already solved. Another problem is the graphics because Abhigyan Hazarika, the guy who worked with me for the video about the strong force, cannot help me with this. He's working on other projects, which is very good for him. So well, that means I need to find someone else to help me. And I thought, well, I'm just gonna solve this problem with money. I thought I'm just gonna put it out there that I'm looking for editors. I'm just gonna get their job applications. But the problem here is that I got so many scammers. It's unreal. You cannot like so many people just send me messages and they are just clearly hoping that I will pay them and then just run away with the money. And obviously, not all the people who message me are like that. I'm sure many of them are real people or honest people who do want to work. But the problem is that telling the difference is really hard. And it's even harder for someone like me because I'm not really good dealing with people. Anyway, so I'm just like stuck there. I need to find someone to help me with the graphics for the video. and I don't know how to find that person. so, but not, so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna put that on pause, and I'm just gonna focus on editing the video, do everything I can, and when that is ready, then I will put all my concentration into finding the editor. Because yeah, I guess that the problem is that I wanted to do both things at the same time. I was working on editing the video and finding the animator, and that was just too overwhelming. But of course, the second episode is gonna need an animator even more than the first one, because it's way more abstract. It's way more about mathematics. So anyway, but that's a problem for future me. So anyway, that's been the Wednesday update. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.